sure how I want to sit when I'm doing this, sitting up straight or slouching in. I don't know. I should probably get this figured out though before the video starts. Okay, so the very first two tips, nope. Another pro tip I have for you, why am I finding it so difficult to speak in this video? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about some pro tips to make your thrifting experience easier and more enjoyable. I feel like thrifting has become pretty popular in the last couple of years, but I think for a lot of people it still has a lot of really negative connotations to it. You think, oh, it's dirty and used and just really outdated things that nobody wants anymore. And while that may be true, that's not the full picture. And with thrifting being more popular in recent years, there have been a lot more opportunities to do it without actually going into a thrift store. There's lots of online options like Poshmark and ThredUp and Depop. This is not sponsored. So you can do that from just the comfort of your own home. And then there's also places like, Plato's Closet and Buffalo Exchange. And then in my area, there is a place called Revive, and they have both new and used items. So in this video, I'm going to have 5 pro tips for you of things that will make your thrifting experience in your local thrift store a lot more enjoyable and better overall with just finding what you're looking for. I have some people in my life, I'm not going to name names. Anyway, people in my life that I would try to drag along, bring along with me on my thrifting trips. And I practically had to drag them kicking and screaming until they got there and saw all the great stuff that they were missing out on. And now, guess what? They are thrifters. So I think you just need the right direction, and I am here to help you with that. Stay tuned. Okay, so the first 2 tips that I have for you start before you even leave the house. The very first tip is make a list. List all the things that you're looking for. Are you looking for a puff sleeve blouse or some new jeans, or do you want a new belt, leather belt, or it could even be home things, but make a list of those things and be specific so that you have a clear vision. But you also have to open yourself up to the thrift and what it has to offer. Sometimes you just have to keep that open mind to find what you didn't really know that you were looking for, but you were kind of looking for it, but not really. The second tip that I have for you before you even leave the house to go thrifting is to be prepared. There's kind of a list of must-haves that you should take with you when you go thrifting. The very first item is going to be a reusable bag. Some thrift stores don't provide bags, and so bringing your own bag is better so you're not just carrying it all in your arms. And also it's just better to use, the reusable bags and just save those plastic bags and leave them there. We don't need to use those. Once you've got that reusable bag ready, you're going to need a couple of things to put in it, which I know you're going to be putting your thrifted treasures in it, but you can also put these things in it before you thrift. know what I mean. The first item being a water bottle, or, whatever it is that you prefer to drink while you're at the thrift store. There's a lot of times that my mom and I, or my friends and I, will go get coffee first, and we'll just take that right on in with us and put it in the shopping cart. But having something to drink while you're there is a really good idea, because you're going to work up a thirst. Well, if you're doing it right, you'll work up a thirst. The next item that you're going to want kind of goes right along with that, and you are going to want a snack of some sort. I like to just bring quick, easy, portable things, whether it's like a little protein bar or a banana, or, a little bag that has some pistachios or nuts or something in them. But you're going to want a snack because, you want to be comfortable while you're there, and snacking makes me comfortable. Another item you're probably going to want to take, not necessarily, I don't personally do this because they play music at the thrift stores, and I usually just kind of jam to whatever it is that they're playing, and I sing and I dance, but that's a whole other video. Anyway, is earbuds or AirPods or headphones or whatever it is you put on your ears to listen to some content. You can listen to podcasts or your favorite music, or, audiobooks, whatever it is. If you don't want to listen to what's going on in the thrift store and you kind of just want to zone out, bring something like that to be able to listen to something of your choice. The next thing that I recommend that you take with you before you even leave the house, is being prepared, is a bag of donations. Most thrift stores will give you a donation card, that it's a coupon actually, and it'll give you, 25% is a pretty standard amount, but they'll give you 25. See how excited I get? Oh my goodness, you say discount and I lose my mind. 25% off discount cards for your donation. And it doesn't have to be 5 trash bags full of things. It can just be a regular sized bag that you donate. Any donation is welcomed and appreciated. The final thing that I think is a must to take with you when you go thrifting, and I saved this one for last because this is just the lifesaver for me anyways, if you're thrifting for clothes, is, see how ratty it is? That's how much I use this thing, you guys. A measuring tape, just a little portable from a sewing kit measuring tape. These things are lifesavers. Let me tell you why. So before you leave the house, find your favorite pair of bottoms, whatever it is, skirt, jeans, short, whatever, your bottom, your favorite pair that you think fits you just so incredibly well. And then lay them flat, and it's called a flat lay, and take your measuring tape and measure the waist of that item. Depending on the other measurements that you maybe find tricky, you can measure the inseam, you can measure the length, whatever it is, but take those measurements at home of your favorite piece, and then not just bottoms, but do it for your tops. You can do it like a pit to pit, you could do, from the top of the shoulder to the bottom of the shirt, from the neck to, if it's a low cut, whatever measurements you're after, take all those measurements, put it in the notes in your phone, or, write it down, or however it is you like to carry that information around, and keep that with you. Then what you do is you take that measuring tape with you every time you leave the house. I just keep mine in my purse. It never leaves. And take that with you. And then when you're at the thrift store and you find whatever the item is that you're considering, you can get that measuring tape out and do that measurements, whatever they are, and see if they match up with those favorite pieces that fit you so well that you already had at home, and see how well the measurements of this item fits that. And then you will know if that item is going to fit you, and you will never go wrong, and you will always be satisfied with the fit of your garments. You're welcome. Okay, so now the pro tips for when you're already at the thrift store. The first one I'm going to tell you about is to check all the departments. Now, I don't mean like all the departments, because, you know, if you're not looking for toys, you know, then there's no reason to go into toys. But check all the clothing or whatever departments it is of things you're looking for. I'm talking about clothing here, so that's what I'll keep referring to. But check out, you know, go to the men's department. You know, they have got some incredible, you know, sweaters and long sleeve button down shirts. I have found some of the best cashmere that I have in the men's department in nice little sweaters. I also, you know, I'd mentioned before that I'm pretty short, so men's jeans don't typically fit me the best. Well, I mean, they don't fit me at all. Let's just be real. However, if I'm looking for cut off jean shorts, Levi's jeans are just always in abundance in the men's department. And that's what I like for cutoff shorts. And so I will find my waist size in the men's Levi's and then cut them off. And then if you're somebody who likes high-waisted things, men's jeans typically are just made more high-waisted. So it's a win-win, you know. But also check like the intimates department. Slip dresses and camisoles are also really big right now, and you can find those in the intimate section. Beautiful camisoles and you know, little slips. Now, you know, some slips, not all slips are made to be dresses, ladies. Let's just be real about that. But there are those ones that are that thicker, like, you know, they're polyester typically, but they look like satin, that are thicker and can be worn as a dress. And so you can check, you know, the intimate section for slip dresses. You can find those beautiful silky robes as kimonos. I mean, there's a lot of options all around the thrift store that maybe aren't in the obvious places, you know, sections of you know, where you're looking. Another pro tip I have for you is to scan the aisle that you're in. You know, you've made that list, and so you kind of know what you're looking for already. You know, you're like, I really want a purple shirt. Well, when you're in the shirts, just scan and look for that color purple that you're after. You know, that way you're not going through every single little hanger, because that can get tedious and time consuming and overwhelming if you're a beginner thrifter. So just find that color and scan for it. And then when you see that color, you know, you can pull that item out and decide if it's what you're looking for. You know, or if you're looking for puffed sleeves or, you know, turtleneck type collars, you know, you can just do that quick scan, and that way you're not spending all that time and getting super overwhelmed with, you know, rows and rows and rows of all these things, because remember, I already told you to check all the departments. So, you know, I don't want you to get too overwhelmed here. But if you just do a scan, that'll just take all that pressure of having to look at every single item. All right, we're at the final tip, number 5. Pro tip for thrifting is check multiple sizes. You know, if you think you're a medium and that is normally what you buy in clothing, you know, check the smalls, check the larges, check the extra larges. And I know I just said, you know, scan and all, and, you know, to not be overwhelmed. But if you're up for the task, check all the sizes, because what happens is things shrink, and that's why they got donated. Maybe somebody bought something in a large and they washed and dried it and it shrunk to a smaller or medium. You know, it's a perfectly good item, still on trend, still beautiful, whatever, but it's just not the right size for them anymore. So they donated it. So check multiple sizes, you know. Some brands size things differently. So, you know, somebody may have ordered something online, you know, maybe they ordered, you know, their medium, but when they got it, it fit like a large. And, you know, some people miss the return, you know, time frames or whatever. And so they donate these items and they're brand new with tags a lot of times. And so it's important to check, you know, kind of a multiple size, you know, variances, because you know, things shrink or things are bigger depending on the brand, and you could miss out on something really fantastic because you were just in that little narrow box of what you think your size is. And let's not forget the fact that, you know, people put things back in the wrong places. And so maybe that item that is your size, you know, got put back in a different size. Or, I mean, it would not be uncommon to even find it in the wrong like section. You know, I've found, you know, beautiful dress in the sleeveless shirts, you know, so just check different sections. You'll thank me for it. I promise. Well, all, that wraps up this video today of 5 pro tips to give you a better thrifting experience. I really hope that you've learned some things and realized some things, and that your next thrifting experience, notice how I said next, will just be better and a more positive overall experience, so that you too can become a thrifter. And please don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel so that I can keep bringing you more thrifted style. See you next time. Bye.